Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today we'll be talking about the Chicago Bears and their offseason plan I have laid out for them. So, if you guys do enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit notification to be notified when I post next. Let's get into it. Let me head over here and go to the scene. All right. So, first, before we go into the re-signings, I want to talk about the coaching changes they had. So they fired Luke Getsy. They hired Shane Waldron to be the new offensive coordinator for this team. I'm very excited about what Shane Waldron can do as offensive coordinator. We saw him with Gino and Russ, how successful he was as a play caller and as a schemer. I'm really excited to see what he can do. Whether it's Caleb Williams or Justin Fields, as you guys are going to see throughout this video, what I go through, what my decision is at the end of the rebuild. No matter what, Shane Waldron's gonna get the most out of whatever guy's there. We saw him with Geno Smith. He led the league in completion percentage last year. This year had a down year, but still threw like 20 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Still pretty good touchdown to interception ratio. But let's get into the video now. Re-signings. We have almost $47 million in money to re-sign our current players for doing any cuts, trades, or restructures. So first off, I want to bring back Darnell Mooney. 31 receptions for 400 yards and a touchdown. Not the best production this year, whether it was injuries, whether it was just bad play from him. He did have a down year. He's a solid number 2, number 3 receiver, and we've seen in this league that getting a guy with his play set is not the easiest thing to do in the world. He struggled the last 2 years with performance. His first 2 years, he was really good, from a 5th round pick to a starter, and now, I see the upside of him. I just need to see consistency out of Darnell Mooney. Shane Waldron will do wonders for Mooney. I really think that he has the upside to be a Tyler Lockett type of player. I'm not gonna say to put up 1,000 yards for the next 8 years, but I think he's the type of dude that can, you can scheme open, that you can, when the ball is in his hands, plays faster than he actually is. So I gave him a 3-year, $39 million contract, $22.2 million guaranteed. That is 56% of it guaranteed. As you can see, never reaches over $14.5 million. I was trying to base it off of Jacoby Myers and Juju Smith-Schuster's contracts, because I think that's about the Darnell Mooney level, if not a little worse. So I gave him about the same amount of money guaranteed. 3 for 36 is what they got. He gets 3 for 39, averages out to about $13.5 million. That's pretty good for Darnell Mooney. Next re-signing is Jalen Johnson. He had 32 tackles, 4 interceptions, a forced fumble, and 18 stops this past season. He's one of the best number 1 cornerbacks in the league. The last 2 years, he's really come onto the scene as like, I'm the number 1 corner for this team. He's still only 24 years old. He's a foundational piece for this defense. As you can see, because he's only 24 years old, I felt safer to give him more of a 5-year contract. Gave him a 5-year, $104.5 million contract. That's $63 million guaranteed, or 60% of it. And that he would become the number 1 paid corner in the league. The Bears have the money to pay their guys. Might as well pay the guys that deserve the money. He would be the number 1 paid cornerback in the league. Would not be the most guaranteed money, but would be the most averaged out money. And this contract then gives you room in the later years to restructure and push the money down the line. But for the next 2 years, he gets the majority of his guaranteed money. Oh, actually, the next 3 years are almost fully guaranteed. Then, with our cuts and trades, after those 2 signings, we're down to $20 million. It's about $26 million I just did. Cody Whitehair, I'm going to be releasing. Yeah, he had a 45 PFF grade, 55 pass blocking, 42 run blocking grades, 2 penalties, and 3 sacks allowed. He's one of the longest tenured Browns, which is why I could see them keeping him due to the culture and the vibe. But, he's a solid backup at interior offensive line, but he saved $9 million cutting him. $9 million is a lot of money. And for Cody Whitehair, unless he's willing to take a restructure or sign a new deal where it lessens his cap hit, you got to release him. You could keep him due to the culture. He's a solid backup. Again, one of the longest tenured Browns on roster. Him and Eddie Jackson, I believe, are tied. So I can see them keeping Cody Whitehair. He's just so expensive, man. That's a lot of money to have in one player who's not even starting for you. Restructures, the only restructure I want to do is Tremaine Edmonds. You signed him last year, played really well this year. We saved $20 million in that restructure. So with the cut and the restructure, we're back up to $48.9 million, aka $50 million. And the first sign I'm going to be doing is Andre James. He had a 75 PFF grade, 71 pass blocking, 75 run blocking, 3 penalties, and 4 sacks allowed. He's one of the best centers in free agency. He's been underrated for a few years now, playing for the Raiders. They suck, so not a lot of people will watch the offensive line. But Andre James is one of the bright spots on that O-line. He's still only 26 years old, has his best football ahead of him. He's a perfect scheme fit for Justin and or Caleb. I think he's a very movable mountain, I guess is what you could say. Is that he's quick on his feet, stays low to the ground, plays with ferocity, and is a good center, right? And this team has had issues at center for the last couple of years. No matter who you have at quarterback, I think Andre James could be the guy behind him. Gave him a 3-year, $36 million deal, $22 million guaranteed. That is 61% guaranteed. Averages out to about $12 million a year, which I think is a perfect number for a starting center who's not a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of guy. Next signing is going to be Greg Gaines. He had 12 tackles, 1 sack, and 9 stops with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could not find a Tampa Bay Buccaneers picture of Greg Gaines. He's been a solid D tackle for multiple years, mainly with the LA Rams. He was really good. Signed a 1-year deal with the Bucs. Didn't have the best year. He took a dip after leaving Aaron Donald, as I just said. He's entering his prime right now. I'm very excited to see what he can become. He's only 26 or 27 years old, and we've seen him be really good next to really good D tackles. So I'm excited to see that, maybe a different scheme, a different players around him can get the most out of Greg Gaines. Gave him a 4-year, $47.5 million deal, $31 million guaranteed with 65% guaranteed. Yes, am I overpaying year 1? Absolutely. But I do think that by year 2 and 3 of the contract, Greg Gaines could be one of the best members of your D line. Him next to Montez Sweat, I would be interested to see. Then I am finally signing a wide receiver. I'm grabbing Noah Brown to be a deep threat. 33 receptions and 567 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a deep threat for this Houston Texans offense under CJ Stroud. He showed his deep threat ability. He has solid hands and route tree, even though he's a really good deep threat. He helped spread the offense out with Tyler Scott. I mean, Tyler Scott showed upside, but Noah Brown is a refined Tyler Scott. So if you want to try, I'm not going to say win it all this year, but try and compete this year, I think having Noah Brown and Tyler Scott would be really helpful for your offense. And a lot of teams never really have the 2 speedster wide receivers. They always only have one guy, and that one guy runs that route. Then if that one guy gets hurt, you can't do that. You can't spread the offense out anymore. I think having a Noah Brown and Tyler Scott could be really helpful for this offense and spread out the offense more so Caleb or Justin can throw the ball. And we know that Shane Waldron loves to throw the ball. Gave him a 2-year, $15.5 million deal, 10.25 guaranteed. That is 66% guaranteed for Noah Brown. Then I decided to take a flyer on a running back, 22 yards and 1 touchdown in his 1 game he played this year in week 1. Injured again. That's the story of J.K. Dobbins' career. When healthy, he's a powerful running back. I really thought he was going to turn into something special for the Baltimore Ravens, but he just can't stay healthy. High upside deal. When healthy, I think J.K. Dobbins is a starting running back and a quality starting running back in the NFL. Gave him a 1-year, fully guaranteed $2 million deal. I do have him trading for a running back in the NFL draft. As you guys know, if you watch my mock drafts and all that, I do think that the Bears are going to acquire a running back in the draft. But J.K. Dobbins could be that really good high upside deal. And when it comes to the draft, we have $22 million still left over. So if you want to sign another offensive lineman, sign a backup quarterback, sign another tight end behind Cole Kmet, sign another linebacker, you can do that with $22 million. But here's my draft. As you can see, I am a trade back twice in this draft. I trade from number 1 overall to number 3, and we keep Justin Fields. That's my choice. I think Justin Fields, you can get another year out of Justin Fields. Yes, Caleb Williams would be really nice to have, but I think the draft capital you get out of trading back is more than what Caleb Williams can give you immediately. I mean, this helps fill out your roster, right? So whatever quarterback you want, you can trade for, draft, sign, anyone you want. At number 3, after the trade back, where you get a future first, a 2nd round pick this year, a future 3rd, and a future this year 4th. You trade back number 3. You grab Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver in this class by far, and probably the best wide receiver in the last 10 years, prospect wise. I think he's a boom for the Chicago Bears immediately. Him, DJ Moore, Noah Brown, Tyler Scott, that Darnell Mooney. That's a really good wide receiver core for Justin Fields. Then at number 34, I grabbed Chop Robinson. I still see him as a 1st round pick, but I understand why people are having him go in the 2nd now. I see why. I don't think it's crazy. I just think that I would rather have the 5th year deal for Chop Robinson than let him slip into the 2nd. But Chop Robinson at number 34, another dynamic pass rusher for this defense. Then here's the trade I'm talking about. At number 9 overall, I forgot to talk about it. At number 9 overall, You have number 1 and number 9. I trade back for number 1 and number 3. And I think you trade out at number 9. I have the New York Giants trading up to number 9. I think that if Jaden Daniels falls to them at 6, they grab Jaden Daniels. And I think they could trade up for Malik Neighbors. I don't know if Malik Neighbors is a guaranteed top 5 pick. There's a lot of other positional value for those teams in the top 5. I don't see 7 or 8 grabbing a wide receiver either. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen are really important to those teams, and they already have a number 1 wide receiver on those teams that are at 7 and 8. So I think at number 9, right before the Jets, it's perfect for the Giants to trade up to get their New York enemies, I guess you could say, competition. You trade at number 9, and this is where the Bears grab Saquon Barkley. So you have Saquon, J.K. Dobbins, and Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. That's a really quality, really good running back room. Saquon was the leader of this offense for the Giants in the past and this past season. The Giants go in a new direction. The Bears then give Saquon the deal that he wants. It's gonna be a tag and trade for the Giants, but I think that then the Bears restructure his deal and give him an extension. You also get a 2nd round pick, a 5th round pick, and a future first out of the deal from the New York Giants. And with that 2nd round pick you grab Chris Jenkins, who's one of the better D tackles in this class. Again, I grabbed Greg Gaines for the upside of his deal and his potential. Chris Jenkins can come in, start immediately A or B gap, and I think him, Greg Gaines, that's a really good D tackle room. Then at 75, I grabbed Junior Colson, pretty solid linebacker. Wouldn't say he's the best in the world. Again, I do think he's a top 100 prospect. I maybe reached on him a little bit, but I think you need another linebacker to pair with this Tremaine Edmonds and what's the other linebacker from the Eagles they signed? I can't think of his name. From the Eagles, they signed their linebacker. Really solid linebacker duo they had this year. I think Junior Colson just adds depth and a potential upside starter once they're ready to move on from one of those guys. Then Anais Smith, he's more of a slot guy from Texas A&M. At 103, I thought was great value. I think he's more of a day 2 guy, but he slips into day 3. Anais Smith, I think he's at the Senior Bowl right now, and I've heard only good things about him. Then Blake Fisher in round 4, high upside tackle, played a lot in Notre Dame, can play either position, left or right tackle. Let's add some depth. Then Justin wow, I when I drafted him, I knew I was gonna struggle with his name. Justin from Alabama, really good run stuffer, and he has a solid pass rush win rate. I think for the Bears, they need to add more depth at pass rusher that's cheap. I think Justin will be a perfect pairing for them. Then Bo Limmer from Arkansas, another guy I draft almost every team I mock draft because he played at right guard, center, left guard. He played quality ball at Arkansas as well. Wouldn't be shocked if he goes higher than the 5th round, but for a guy who's versatile, you guys know I love my versatile offensive linemen, and I just think that Bo Limmer could be a perfect guy to slot in if someone gets hurt, can slot in as that sixth offensive lineman. Same with Blake Fisher, he can be that 6th offensive lineman. I think that Bo Limmer has an upside to potentially start in the future. Then James Williams from Miami, another guy that's rising on my own board. He played everywhere, box, deep, slot corner. He played all over the field and played quality ball. Wouldn't say he's a great guy. Wouldn't say he's a starter. But in the 5th round, grabbing a guy who has versatility all over the defense and played quality at every position he played at. And every snap he played hard. That's something you can really find value in the 5th round. Again, Darnell Mooney was a 5th round pick. Like, you could find gems throughout the draft that are, these guys, they hits. That was a quality draft pick. It's where that guy is actually playing impactful ball for us. I can see the same thing happen with James Williams. That I guess last year as well, Tyreek Stevenson. Oh my gosh, what's the other corner's name that is playing good ball for the Bears? Wow, I know his name. When I see his name, I'm gonna get really mad because I know his name. He's a corner. Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon was a 2nd round pick, but you guys know what I mean. I think that what they need not only is depth at corner, because it's pretty thin at corner of guys that I feel comfortable starting, but I think that James Williams could be that versatile backup, that versatile playmaker throughout the defense. That if anyone gets hurt or misses a play, you just slot in James Williams. And we trust him enough for the next 3 to 5 plays that he can hold up. But that's my mock draft. You get 2 major trade backs where you get Marvin Harrison. You trade back, get Saquon Barkley from the Giants. Lots and lots of depth, lots and lots of impactful starters and impactful rotation players. That's my Bears rebuild. If you guys enjoy, please do like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification, let me know when I post next. With this trade back, by the way, of the Giants, they have 3 first-round picks next year. They'd have the one for the Patriots, have the one from the Giants, and have their own. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. That's a lot of firepower to trade for a quarterback, to sign a quarterback and draft the talent around him, or to draft a quarterback and do whatever you want. That's what I would want for the Chicago Bears. Again, it's my offseason plan. It's not what I actually predict is going to happen. It's if I was Ryan Poles, this is what I would do. If you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Again, every day in the month of February, I am posting my offseason plan, getting ready for the new league year, the NFL draft. In the month of March, will be mock drafts, predicting signings. I'm really excited. Hope you guys are excited too. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.